It is fall right now in Asheville, North Carolina, and we are going to give you the latest and greatest information about what's happening here on the ground right now, especially after the storm. Which areas are more affected, which areas are less affected. Can you even still buy a home here? What's happening? Are we open? All the deal. We're going to take you through some homes, take you through some more areas that we haven't shown you yet, and give you the skinny. So stay tuned. It's going to be a good one. Here we are in Montford, and everybody has been emailing us and calling us, which we love, so reach out any of the ways down below, and asking us about Montford, because it's one of the most beautiful areas of Asheville. People always, want to make sure that they can still come to Montford. So Montford had a lot of damage, mostly due to trees and things like that. So there were a lot of areas that trees came down on homes. They blocked intersections and roadways. And it took quite a while to be able to have it even passable. You'll still see stuff out on the road here. And this is the month after. This is an historic area of Asheville. I mean, most of these homes are in the early 1900s. So 1900 to 1940, something like that. And they are quintessential Asheville. Oh, hi, Pop. We were looking for a dog. Did you see a lot of damage? He's recovering as well. So there were a lot of places in Montford that had trees down and whatnot. They were blocked for a little bit. I mean, and just like everywhere, I mean, you're really close to downtown in Montford. It's right behind us. But just like everywhere, they were out of power and electric for a little bit. But most of the homes in this area, have been repaired. And a lot of the streets have been cleared. Where you can see there's lots of traffic happening here. People are getting back to it a little bit, I've noticed there's an air around here of people that are just kind of taking it a little bit easier lately. If there's anything we learned, it's chill out, don't move too quickly, pay attention to what's happening and help your neighbor. As stores open up, especially places that don't need a lot of water in order to operate, and restaurants open up, people are coming back out. At a restaurant that you'll see these big water totes outside. This is so that they can have clean drinking water inside to make food, to wash hands, to wash dishes, things like that. It takes a lot of effort right now in order to have a fully functional restaurant. And so everybody that can open right now is opening, because how long can restaurants really stay closed and stay in business? It's not only the restaurants that need to make the money, it's the people that work there too. So you think about Asheville being such a tourist place, we need to get back to business. We wanted to show you a little bit of Biltmore Village as well. The Biltmore Estate is over here. Biltmore Village is behind me. There's a lot of traffic happening, and actually it's all closed off. So we can't drive around there, but there's piles of rubble and things like that. Now, Biltmore Village is one of those places that always floods. I mean, every time we get heavy rain, Biltmore Village floods anyway. So they expect it now. But this was more than they bargained for, because it's one of the lowest places in town. So Biltmore Estate is destined to open back up at the very beginning of November, so that's really soon. So they're doing well, and they've got some water in place, things like that. But homes around Biltmore Village didn't suffer as much as the businesses did. Really, all behind me. Back in here, these quintessential Biltmore Village walkways and little shops, mom and pop stores and things like that, they all got just pretty much wiped out. It's gonna be a while before that comes back. So this is one of the areas of Asheville that was super affected, like Swannanoa, parts of Swannanoa around Old 70 and 70, Biltmore Village, Chimney Rock, Lake Lure, places like that. That's going to take a while. We shared our moments, the lost to the end. You're beautiful, you're beautiful, you're beautiful, it's true. What video is complete without a little look-see of downtown? So we're going to do a quick drive-through of downtown Asheville, kind of show you what's up, what's happening, what's not. The current state 1 month after the storm, have people come back, what's the deal. So we're just gonna drive by. Mac and cheese. Thanks.
Yeah, do you guys want some Anheuser-Busch water? We heard from some lady these were the best canned waters she's had so far.
Oh, are there lots of canned waters?
Yeah, we're getting a lot of donated canned waters from like the different breweries and coffee shops that are around.
Cool.
And then it's pulled pork and mac today. You
Yeah.
guys want to do two?
Please.
Awesome.
I don't know how long World Central Kitchen is gonna keep doing this. They don't tell us really, but like they still have locations all over town. And it's for anyone. It's not just, for people that cannot cook right now. It's for anyone as a relief effort, which is so super cool. So we're still doing it. But we should get an ice cream too later. Okay. You know what we need after some World Central Kitchen? We need a little bit of ice cream. We're on Merriman Avenue right now, and things are open. Especially ice cream. Remember how I gauge if everything's okay? Ice cream. Do you have, what's my favorite, like spicy chocolate? Aztec chocolate. You have it today? It's my special day. Okay, awesome. That's what I want with a waffle cone, please.
I only got these cones right now.
Is there a cone shortage?
There's just a water clean.
Oh, okay. So we gotta be careful with the cones.
Yeah.
Okay,
Well,
cool.
these are made in the factory, so.
Oh, cool. Can I have a sugar cone, please? Are you okay with just giving us a little bit of update about how restaurants and things are opening with the water situation, so we know?
Some people are giving out potable water out front like so, and as long as we have a certain amount of potable water to clean and do our duties, then we're fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
But there's certain things you can't make, and waffle cones, like, how does that work?
It's just like a shortage of water thing right now. We're getting it together. We're just starting making ice cream, and we're just going to start making cones next week.
Okay, so
Yeah.
just like limited water supply, but there's a lot of restaurants that are back and open, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Like most of them?
I'm sure all that can.
All that can. They
Yeah.
want to be open. They want people to come in, right?
Yes, definitely.
Absolutely. We want to be back open. We're
Yeah.
trying really hard. So, okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, if you all have never been to the Hop, this is my favorite ice cream store in Asheville. They have this spicy chocolate called Aztec chocolate, and it is to die for. But they also have unicorn poop, which my kids love. It's not an ice cream channel. We're not an ice cream channel. The people in Western North Carolina are still very much grieving. I mean, we have suffered a collective trauma here, and it's wild to see even 1 month out, food is still being served, supplies are still being distributed. And I guess this is normal. I mean, because people are still without homes. The wild thing is that some neighborhoods you can go into and they're living their lives just like almost like nothing has happened, except they feel it inside, of course, and there's all different varying levels of feeling that. And then other neighborhoods that you go into have been completely wiped out. Like there's just no evidence that they were there. Not entire neighborhoods, but like roads. And so it's really these like micro pockets all over town that you'll see that were really affected. So it's difficult for us to make a video about the state of the entire city of Asheville because it differs so much from one pocket to another. So everything's up in the air right now and changing. So we're trying to give you the most up-to-date information we can, but keep in mind, we film about a week early. So as we're showing you that restaurants are opening up right now, some with limited menus and things like that, by the time this comes out a week later, probably most of the restaurants are going to be in full swing, I would imagine, and we start to welcome people back. Keep in mind, we're in full leaf season right now. We're like experiencing an explosion of color all around us. And in a time when this is happening in Western North Carolina, we are used to having tons of tourists and people who are driving around looking at leaves and basking in the sunlight and enjoying the light of the fall foliage right now. And what you'll see is you'll see kind of more locals here right now. You're not going to see as many tourists. Now, but let's talk about what this means for the housing market in general in Asheville, because that's the biggest question that we get, and we're happy to advise on this. Reach out any of the ways down below, because that's our passion and our pleasure, is real estate in Asheville. When we experienced the 2008 housing crisis and COVID and now the hurricane in Asheville, what we saw is that housing prices stayed pretty steady. It's a pretty resilient place. I mean, you keep in mind that people want to live here, not only for the community, but this is the land of milk and honey, and that's not gonna go anywhere. These mountains are not going anywhere. These views are not going anywhere. This nature, even though disrupted, and even the path of the rivers have changed since the hurricane, it's not going to change from the beauty that we experience and the beauty that draws people into this area. That's not going anywhere. The people here are resilient, and so is the land. This is a very sacred part of the United States, and that's still going to be here. So the housing prices have stayed pretty steady. I know a lot of people were expecting fire sales and things like that, and blowout, everybody's going to leave Asheville. It's not happened. There's not an increase, but it's still a really steady pricing structure right now. And there's a lot of people who are looking for homes now too, and selling and shifting. There's a lot of things that are happening right now in real estate. Like I said, we'll be glad to advise you on that. But let's go back and let's talk a little bit about what we've seen in the community. Every single person here has been touched by this tragedy in one way or another. And I'm so glad that I didn't leave. A lot of people had to leave. They had to get their kids in school, or they had to work, and they had to have internet, they had to have reliable utilities, maybe they had a medical condition or something like that. Everybody, whatever they needed to do was okay. I'm glad I didn't, because I got to participate in what was happening here. And one of the beautiful things that I saw is that I saw what humanity could be. I saw what was underneath us all. Like when you dig up all the dirt, when you get all the stuff out and you look and see who we really are as humans, I get to see the best of humanity. I mean, when we break down barriers, when we release, our fear and our sense of lack and everything like that, underneath that, what do we have left? We have love, and we have each other. And, I will never think twice about going to my neighbor now and be like, hey, can I borrow some whatever that thing is, because everybody was asking for whatever they needed. Do you know how hard it is to ask for what you need? Especially to strangers. But at this time, we all came together, and instead of hoarding resources, we were freely giving. Even things that were important to us, even things that we were fearful of losing, we were giving out of the goodness of our hearts to people who had nothing. This is the potential of rebuilding a society and a community in a way that we want to rebuild it. We have a wonderful opportunity right now, and there's no place like Asheville that will take us up on this opportunity. We have a wonderful opportunity right now to build and restructure our society so that we are less separate, we are less individualized, all by ourselves in front of our individual screens, in separateness, and rebuild it in an interdependent, beautiful, resilient way in which we all feel loved and supported. One of the cool things that was happening here is that we would, like old villages, we would be going down to our watering hole. Back in the olden days, women would have to go and they would gather water from a stream, or they'd go do laundry at the river or something like that, and they would get to talk to other women. Well, now I'm still doing that, because we have non-potable water in our houses now, but I still have to go to the Ingles parking lot for World Central Kitchen, who's giving us fresh drinking water, and I gotta fill up my buckets. And I see people there, and I talk to them, and I'm like, hey, how are you? Can you imagine all the time asking your neighbor or people you don't know, strangers, hey, how are you? Hey, did your kids get back in school? Is everything cool? Everybody good? Is your house okay? What do you need? So here's a cool thing. When everybody came together, I mean, there were like hippies next to like mountain folk, next to military service people, all linking arms, all together, helping people, no matter who you were. No matter how much you had or didn't have at that moment, no questions were asked. No questions were asked like, who are you voting for? No questions were like, how much money do you have? What do you believe in? Nothing like that. You know the only question they asked? What do you need and how can I help? Across all political lines. And in such a time of divisiveness and fear and people pitting things against each other and things like that, there was the most beautiful seed of love and compassion that I just witnessed. I will never forget. One of the other things that happened was, I think it was the director of FEMA, the lead person of FEMA, something like that, was like, we have been all over the world helping people, all over the US, I guess, helping people, and we have never seen a community or a city like Asheville come together so quickly to jump into action to help people. So when you think about moving to Asheville, when you think about investing in Asheville, not only are you investing in a piece of property or a piece of land or an investment, short-term rental, whatever the thing is, not only are you investing in that, you are investing in the community that we have and that we have built here together. And if you feel called to be a part of something like that is budding and growing and becoming even more gorgeous, then you might want to be in Asheville. What on earth are they building right now? Hey y'all, what are you building?
3 phoenixes.
3 phoenixes. Can you tell me why? What's going on?
Come to the center, I'll show you.
Okay, cool.
I built 5 pieces with random help from different people in Pack Square.
Oh, cool.
Tomorrow, from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., I'm at a triangle park called the Drumming Circle or Pritchard Park.
Oh, yeah.
I'm building mosaics out of all the limbs and the stuff that's piled up as refuse and making it into art in our sacred space. So in amongst the rocks, it's going to feel like the Blue Ridge Parkway. All these volunteers are helping me separate out the limbs. All the limbs, the long limbs, came from the 80-foot tall tree, and these are cut directly from the trunk like that. These all were here in the neighborhood right across the lake at Beaver Lake, and these are our supports for it. So it's a mix of both places. And the idea of having these here until New Year's Eve, and then see the possibility, we have to ask questions, you know how that is. And the 3 Phoenix rising from their ashes on New Year's Eve, we burn the 3 piles and get the scouts, the local scouts, to come and burn them, a control burn with fire departments. And that way, the phoenix will rise and will go to ashes and enter the new year afresh.
Dang.
And let go of all this.
When we have something that we need to heal from, guess what we do? We make some art and then we burn it up, right? That's how we heal. That's how we heal.
Thanks, guys.
I love it. Thank
absolutely.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Here's a quote that I found from Robin Wall. Even a wounded world is feeding us. Even a wounded world holds us, giving us moments of wonder and joy. I choose joy over despair, not because I have my head in the sand, but because joy is what the earth gives me daily, and I must return the gift. Guess where we are? We are on Town Mountain. You know, there's a band in Asheville by the name of that, right, Justin? So one of the cool things about Town Mountain that you are going to like is that it is 4 minutes from downtown Asheville. And guess what? It has beautiful views of the city too. And you're so close to town, it's amazing. And look at all this kind of privacy that you have in the backyard. We're gonna take you on a tour of this home. It's 5 bedrooms, 4 baths, 3,300 square feet. And it's something to see. Let's go inside. I love these homes that are really close to downtown Asheville because you have the best of all worlds. As you know, Asheville is known for its abundance of nature and kind of being surrounded with trees and trails and things like that. So when you can get a house that's really close to all the award-winning restaurants and the offerings that Asheville has to give, like performing arts and galleries, things like this, and also be exposed to all the beautiful nature nearby. It is a win-win, and it's so much fun. And this is one of those homes. This is one of those homes. It's so cool. So this is Town Mountain. Everybody knows Town Mountain for its amazing views of the city and its sunsets. So the really beautiful thing about this home is not the home itself, built in 1960, with mid-century modern flair, but it's also like being able to sit outside on your porch and watch the sunset with your friends. And maybe you have a nice cocktail or a mocktail, depending on what you're into. So let's go into the dining room here. This is awesome. There's 2 skylights, so there's lots of natural light here. And then here's a little, looks like a den, or it could be an office. You'll see throughout this home, there's stonework everywhere, which you see in the mountains often because we have abundance of stone. So, and it's really cool when they build that into the home too, because you really feel like it's a nice mountain home. Let's head into this galley kitchen. Wow, look. They have countertops made out of concrete, and they grow flowers right in their sink. Amazing. It's endless what you could do in Asheville. Just kidding. This is really cool. I love it. Sometimes people like kitchens that have their own separate area, so that they can kind of have a little bit of separateness when they're cooking. And some people like them open too. So a lot of times when I'm working with clients, we talk about possibilities of opening up kitchens, especially these days. So as we head upstairs, there's a few different levels to this home. So as we head upstairs, we're going to go into a light-filled bedroom here. Is this the primary? No, I don't think. No, yeah, it could be the primary because there's a door here and there's a bathroom right here too. This home has 4 bathrooms, and this one has a double sink, which like with a little curvature here. That's kind of cool. Normally you see them straight on. Here's an original bathtub too. Yeah. And then there's another bathroom on the other side of this wall too, isn't there? Yeah, right here. Look, just with one sink here. Same bathtub, lots of mirrors. Woohoo! That could be good and bad, depending on how you're feeling for the day. Another little guest bedroom here. Awesome. I love this like 1960s charm. And another bedroom here. And it feels like you're in a treehouse. Like it really feels like you're in a treehouse in these bedrooms because man, you're kind of high up. But it's leveled out, so there's no danger particularly, of sliding off a mountain, which is everyone's like first thought right now. Like, oh my gosh, I'm going to slide off a mountain. What's beautiful too is that you can just exit straight onto this deck here. And this is where I spend most of my time. I love sitting outside. I love the sunshine. I love the sunshine on my skin. It makes me so happy. And like you are 4 minutes from downtown right now. Dude, if you want to go see a concert at the Orange Peel, you want to go eat some chai pani, you want to have some beers on the South Slope, whatever you're into at the moment, it's a hop, skip, and a jump right down the hill. A little bit of curvy road, but not bad. Right down the hill and you're downtown. You could even like bike it, I bet. You could electric bike it, carefully, but you could do it. So in the winter, you got to imagine, because we're in the fall right now, some leaves have dropped, more leaves have dropped a little bit because of the storm, but you can imagine here, you're going to have a beautiful view of mountains behind you, and then right behind me right here is downtown Nashville. We should check out downstairs too, because downstairs is a whole other living quarter, so let's go there. So there's a whole separate living quarters downstairs with its own entrance. So you could use that for friends and family, guests, or potentially if you got a homestay permit from the city of Asheville, because you're in the city limits here, then you could Airbnb it, right? Short-term rent it. Hey, let's go down. So downstairs, look, more stonework. A really nice built-in insert, so it's going to keep it warm. As we know, heat rises, so whenever you have a wood stove downstairs, then you tend to heat the whole house. Look, we have some built-in shelves here and a nice little bedroom that totally closes off. How cool. So you could always either stay down here or stay upstairs and rent the other portion depending on what you're into. And look at this bathroom down here. I love the tile work and the stones, and they even have, they have a little, I don't know what this is, Justin. Why do they have a shower head down here and up here? For your feet? Oh, there's like a little bench there too. But I love this like stone. Is it stone work? It's not tile, it's stone work. That's really cool. And they have a skylight here with blinds. I don't know if I've ever seen that before. So if it gets too bright, you just close the blinds. You're like, nope, not today, son. I'm not having it today. You're too much. You're too much for me. There is a kitchen down here too with its own separate entrance. So it's like its whole own apartment. You could totally rent this out long term, probably, or short term. So on this side of the house too, there is one thing outside that's kind of fun. Now, this is what I'm into, and I don't know if you're into it or not, but can't get out. I really like hot tubs. And in Western North Carolina, hot tubs are awesome because you can use them all year long. Like, you can use it in the summer. We do. We just turn it down a little bit, but really, I use it all the time. So they have a hot tub out here, which is awesome, especially for guests, especially if you're going to short-term rent. You still have a little bit of views, but they wanted some privacy. And look, they've got some kayaks and some canoes to go down the river when it's time again. Okay, so let's head out to the backyard because there's still a little bit more to see out there. I want to make sure we get a first-hand approach of what it is like to live on Town Mountain and how convenient it is. So I found this guy here, and he's lived here for quite a while, and I'm just kind of curious, like, what is your impression about living on Town Mountain and in Asheville in general? Well, I really, really, really like the sunsets here. And I'm really into, like, just sitting outside with my lady and watching the sunset. And do you enjoy just, living, in close proximity to everything Asheville has to offer? Absolutely. We go downtown, we hold hands, we see the sights, we live it up, Everything that we moved here for is just right down the hill. I love it. Thank you so much, sir. I hope you take care of your mustache well. How cute was that? Oh my gosh. Okay, so we have another home for you, totally different part of town too, because we want to make sure that we cover our bases and show you what conditions are like in different parts. So we're going to head up to Woodfin. This is going to be more of an investment opportunity, but also one you could live in. So kind of cool. Let's check it out. First, I should probably hang out here. Is this a grapevine? No. Is it a grapevine? I don't know. Why not hang out here and have some wine? Just kidding. Can't drink on the job. I got stuff to do, y'all. I have an obligation. So now that you saw the whole house on Town Mountain, I'm curious how much you think that goes for, because again, there's a rental opportunity downstairs. You have beautiful views of Asheville. You're 4 minutes from downtown with 3 different outdoor living spaces. How much do you think that is? Especially now. It is just over $1 million. So lots of potential there. After the hurricane, there are so many changes that are happening in Asheville in general, but also in Asheville with real estate too. Different areas of town were more affected, obviously, than other areas, but also real estate prices are changing and fluctuating. Overall, they're staying steady, and I will go through that with you even more. But what's really crucial at the time is that you have a good advisor on your side, and that's what we would love to do for you. So please reach out any of the ways down below, especially if you were thinking about moving to Asheville, you changed your mind, or you're unsure right now. We're happy to guide you through the process. We want to make sure that we're totally transparent about everything that happens in Asheville, and you know a little bit about the wildlife that we have here. Here's another thing that you can sometimes expect to happen. Look at all this trash on the ground. Is it because we don't care? Is it because we're just like throwing our stuff around? No. Do you know who did this? Mr. Bear. Mr. Bear came here and he totally got into this trash can, and it's something that we have to think about all the time. Like on trash day, I don't put out my trash the night before. No. That will end up in a bear buffet. So what we have to do is we either have like a bear guard, and these people might have a bear guard on there, they just didn't put it on. So sometimes they have like a bear guard that goes over here that the trash people know how to open, or you just have to put it out right before they come. So like you have to time it correctly, and everybody's running out in their robes and their hair things. And they're like, oh my gosh, don't look at me, neighbors, I gotta put out my trash real fast. But anyway, yeah, sometimes we have to clean up our trash because Mr. Bear comes. Dang it! Now, here's a cool opportunity, especially if you're not going to be in Asheville all the time and you want to make a little money on the side, is what do you see behind me? Is it a house? No, it is a new fandangled duplex. Remember duplexes from years before? So look how they build them now. How cool is this? Now this is in Woodfin. So this is like what, 5-7 minutes north of downtown Asheville? It's really super close. Easy to get to, right off 26 here. But look, we have behind me, we have two pretty much studio apartments, but it's a duplex. So two houses that both have one bedroom in there. You could rent them long-term, you could rent them short-term, because I think they're already permitted, so they would be grandfathered in. I believe. We could double check on that. That's why you get in touch with us, just to make sure. Double check, get an agent, and have two separate places. You could live in one, rent out the other one. How cool is that? So we're gonna go inside, we're gonna check it out, see if it's nice. It was built in 2021, so it's not super old. And I just love the way that architects these days are reimagining old ideas, because this is what kind of brings fire to me. New stuff, cool stuff, beautiful things. Let's go. Now the other one is occupied, so we can't go in there, but we can go in here. And it looks like, from what I can see, is this is fully outfitted for a short-term rental right now. So we could ask and see if there's any short-term rental history here. So we can get some financial numbers to back it up. And it's so cute. It has like a little guidebook, says welcome home, have some wine and get comfy. Today, we're just talking about alcohol a lot today. I don't mean to. But they have thought about everything in here, which is really cool when you're thinking about having a short-term rental. Now, we help a lot of people when they are purchasing a home or an investment in Asheville think about the income potential that they could receive by using it as a short-term rental when they're not here. And that's a big draw for people. That's not something that we used to think about a lot, right? Like, this is a new thing. Like, oh, we would like a second home here, and it can make us money, so we don't actually have to pay a lot out when we're not using it, which is cool. But here's what we want to keep in mind, especially concerning people who need housing right now, is if there is a way that you can provide housing to people with a current short-term rental that is not currently rented. There's so many displaced families right now, so that is something to consider. If you're able to do that, please do. Look at this bedroom. Okay, so these are both studio apartments, and this is a massive room, and it's so modernized too. So you have windows all around, so there's a lot of natural light, huge area for the bed, TV on the wall. It just feels so spacious in here. And look at this huge closet with a washer and dryer in your closet. Y'all, next house I'm having a washer and dryer in my closet. Talk about efficiency. I'm not wasting time everywhere, y'all, walking with things in my hand. That's just too much. And you know what they thought of here? This is a great place to come and work, right? So you can have, if you can work anywhere, which you're location independent, then this is perfect. You have like a little printer and a workstation right here, so it makes it super easy. And this place is really close to UNCA too. Now, it doesn't look like they're doing long-term rentals here, but I bet you could if you bought it and you decided you didn't want to do short-term. Check out this cute bathtub. I love it. Everything's black and white in here with a touch of green, little industrial flair. And I love these mirrors that have like the built-in light too. Oh, I like the yellow light. What does that do? Now let's go back to that kitchen and check it out, because you have to imagine this is a duplex, so it's going to have an almost identical unit on the other side. So you get a twofer. How much do you think this goes for? You could live in one or stay in one when you're in Asheville, rent out the other one, or rent out both, long-term, short-term, depending on the permits, right? That's what we can advise you on. How much do you think this duplex, this 2021 duplex goes for? Comment down below. I'll let you know in just a minute. Let's go back out. I made it out. Okay, so how much does it go for a duplex in Woodfin, 10 minutes north of downtown? You could rent it. You could live here. You could rent it. You could live in one, rent it. You know, you get the deal. $6.99. There are so many wonderful places to be in Asheville and so many wonderful people to surround yourself with. So, thanks for joining us today. If you want to see other places right around Asheville, check out Hendersonville right here. Until then, Ciao for now, everybody. We love you.